Welcome to you. My name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. Today's video is going to be a comparison video between the Louis Vuitton Pochette Metis in monogram and the Louis Vuitton Favorite MM in monogram. The idea behind this video was one bag sits at the entry-level price point, so although it is about double the price of a pochette accessoire, I tend to see that more as a small leather good than an actual handbag. So I'll tell you a bit more about the details around the price of this one and the like, but I'd say this is a great entry-level handbag from Louis Vuitton. This one is not so much an entry-level handbag. So this one is sitting in Australian dollars at almost double the price of this one. Both are equally hard to find in the boutique and equally hard to find secondhand from resellers. This video is to help you decide which one of these is for you or which one you'd like to purchase first. So without further ado, let's get started. So the bag that we're going to start with is the Louis Vuitton Favorite in the MM size in the coated canvas in the monogram pattern. As you know, this bag also comes in the damier ebene and the damier azur. This bag retails in Australia for 1,570 Australian dollars, and they're very hard to find at both boutiques and also at the Louis Vuitton online store. If you do have a great essay or you do call for availability to the online store, there's every chance that you will get one with a brief waiting period. So, a couple of things about this bag that you should know. It has a magnetic closure, so it does snap shut, and with a bit of shaking around, that's not opening up. So the magnetic closure on my bag is really good. Obviously it's easy enough to open the bag as well. So in terms of security, it's literally just to stop your things from falling out. It does have a plate, gold plate on the front that says Louis Vuitton Paris. This is susceptible to scratching and fingerprints, but that's to be expected with usage of the bag. It also has a beautiful gold chain or gold plated chain or brass chain that's painted to look like gold. So this chain you can see here clips onto this D-ring, so you can also remove that. It's attached solidly at this end, and you can use it as a bit of a wristlet to carry this bag. I really like the chain across the front. I think it really dresses up the monogram because the monogram can be quite casual. So the gold chain on this one actually makes it into quite a dressy little bag. It's quite 90s style because you can just pop it over your shoulder. What else do you need to know about this bag? Originally it came with a strap, which was a 52 centimeter strap drop. Now I ended up selling that strap that came with it for a couple of reasons. One, it wasn't adjustable, and two, it sat quite short on my body, and I'm about 5'5", between 5'5" and 5'6", or 166 centimeters, and I just felt that it sat way too high for a crossbody bag. So I purchased another strap from Louis Vuitton, and this one is about 125 centimeters long. And it is not adjustable either, but it sits at quite a nice casual crossbody length. The challenge is though, when I wear it on the shoulder, it's a little bit too long. But you will see when I show you the Pochette Metis strap that strap can be also used on the Favorite as well, or any other Louis Vuitton straps that you might have in your collection. What else do you need to know about this? In terms of dimensions, these are all on the Louis Vuitton website. It measures 26 centimeters long, 15 centimeters tall, and 4 centimeters wide. Inside, the bag has a textile lining in a burgundy color and one slip pocket at the back, otherwise quite a roomy space in there. And that is a great thing about this bag. Sometimes the more organisation a bag offers, the more difficult it is to use because it really limits what you can actually put inside, whereas this one is basically a pochette, an open pochette that you can utilise however you wish. This bag can be worn as a clutch, as I showed you, on the shoulder with a short strap, on the shoulder with the longer strap, and crossbody. In terms of pros with this bag, obviously how easy it is to use. That can also be a con if you're looking at security and how easy it might be for somebody else to access this bag. The price point of this bag is also a pro at $15.70. It's a lot more realistically priced than a lot of other bags from Louis Vuitton or other houses, for example. The versatility in terms of how many different ways that you can wear this bag is also a pro. And I would say that the gold chain, which just makes such a difference in terms of going from day to night, is also a pro with this bag. In terms of cons, some people have mentioned that the flap can become misaligned. So when the flap snaps back into place, that some bags end up like with a strap that sits across and doesn't straighten up. I don't have that problem with this bag. You can see that it's really nicely aligned and the pattern follows itself all the way down. So I actually think that's something to look for when you're purchasing a bag, is to make sure that the flap is aligned to the base of the bag and the pattern follows through. Other things that might be seen as a con with this bag is obviously original strap size is quite short unless you're quite petite, so that would be a con. And any vachette that's exposed might also be a con, because even though this bag is really wearable with the coated canvas, having vachette out in the rain or in the sun, if you're out you know, picnicking or shopping or what have you, this is obviously susceptible to staining, and it's going to patina the more it has access to sunlight. So a couple of things to think about in terms of cons. Another thing that's interesting to note, when I looked for these on resale sites, firstly I went to Fashion File because there was none available in any of the Australian resellers at the moment. And at Fashion File, these were selling in excellent condition for $1,495 US, which is nearly 2,400 Australian dollars. Remembering that you can purchase this brand new at the boutique for 1,570 Australian dollars. So that's nearly $1,000 more to buy from Fashion File. So you would not do that if you're an Australian. I looked at eBay to see if there were any listed. There was a Damier Ebene MM listed on eBay for $2,200, and that was in Sydney. So these bags, because they're so hard to come by, they actually can fetch quite a high price on the resale market. So this is one that is worth establishing a relationship with a sales associate, calling the Louis Vuitton client services and putting your name down and paying a deposit if you want to get hold of this bag. My story with this bag, I was lucky enough to walk into the Brisbane boutique in the city where I live, and they were asking me how my holiday was. I'd recently been to London, Paris, and around Spain. And in each of those cities, I was looking for the basics, the things that you want from Louis Vuitton. So I was looking for a favourite. I was looking for the zippy wallet with the summer trunks collection because I really enjoyed that. And I mentioned to them how difficult it was to find those basic pieces, despite being closer to the headquarters of Louis Vuitton. And my SA, Emrys, at the time, said to me, "We happen to have a favourite. Would you like to have a look?" And I said, "Absolutely." There was a line of people standing behind me waiting for me to say, "No, not today. I think I'll leave it." So of course I purchased it, and I was also lucky enough to purchase the long strap. They had one of these in stock as well, so it was absolutely my time. I've been waffling on about this bag. I don't think this is overrated at all. I actually really enjoy using this bag, and I think that if you are looking for an entry-level bag in your handbag collection, or you've been pondering around whether or not the favourite is worth the investment, I would definitely recommend. So we're comparing the Louis Vuitton Favourite in monogram to the Louis Vuitton Pochette Metis in monogram. My Pochette Metis is about a year old, and you can see that my Pochette has got a lovely patina on it because I live in a great subtropical climate, and also I followed Minnie from Minx for All advice around putting any bags with Pochette in a room in sunlight for the first week or so to help kind of oxidize that leather so that it creates a nice seal. And you start to see that once you've got like a nice shiny finish on there, you're starting to get closer to having a seal. So what do you need to know about the Pochette Metis to compare it to the Favourite? Well, I'll refer to my notes. This one is equally hard to get, so it's unlikely that you can walk into a boutique just like with the Favourite and see one and be able to obtain one. Similarly, you find them difficult to get on resale sites. There's a few on Fashion File at the moment, but usually to find them in excellent condition is tricky, and you're paying well above the retail price because of the supply of these things. At the moment, this retails for 2,810 Australian dollars. It comes in the monogram. It also comes in the imprint leather, which I'll insert some pictures of. And there are also some seasonal versions of the Pochette Metis as well. This bag has the S-lock closure, so it is not a magnetic closure, and which works by pushing these two buttons together and opening the flap. You can see that this closure as well has some hairline scratches, even though there is a little plastic piece on the end here, it really still affects the hardware and the scratching. The other thing is, when this bag's empty, it's quite difficult to close. It needs to have some resistance behind the lock in order to be able to close the bag. So we'll open the bag again. What do you need to know about this bag? It measures 25 centimeters in width. It measures 19 centimeters high and 7 centimeters wide. You can see it has an accordion style compartment organization arrangement there. So in relation to the Favourite, it's actually 1 centimeter shorter, but it's 4 centimeters higher and 3 centimeters deeper. This bag also has a great handy zipper pocket on the back, and in here is deep enough to put your largest phone and anything else you want close handy, and it's lined in the beautiful microfiber lining in a chocolate brown. So let's have a look inside of the bag. We've got two main compartments, so one at the front, one in the middle, and this one has the Pochette tab, Louis Vuitton Paris, made in France, and then a kind of a slip pocket at the back, but still got lots of room. The flap is lined in the monogram leather. This one comes with an adjustable strap, which also has some beautiful hardware. So you can see there that the buckle has Louis Vuitton on both sides. And it has 5 adjustments, and it also has that second tab which helps to keep the residual strap contained so that it doesn't curl up, and lovely hardware on the side. Again, you can use this with the LV Favourite as well, and a lot of other bags. I could also attach this one to my Petite Boîte Chapeau as well. So when you get hold of these straps, it gives you so much more versatility in how you use the other bags in your collection. So this bag can be worn top handle with the strap on, or without the strap. It can be worn as a clutch, like so. It can be worn crossbody and on the shoulder, and I'll show you those in some mod shots a bit later on. In terms of pros and cons of this bag, pros I'd have to say is the capacity. This bag is a great size, and the capacity for you to take everything you need in a day, absolutely fantastic. And it's also quite luxurious in terms of the finishes. The organisation in this bag is also a pro with this pocket on the back pocket. Always something that I'm looking for in a bag this size. It really does make the difference in terms of accessing your phone. Something that is in your hand most of the time when you're traveling, to be honest. What other pros can I give you? It's quite versatile in terms of how you wear it. This bag can also be accessorized with a bandeau, and I can show you what that looks like a little bit later. But basically Louis Vuitton sell a number of thin scarves, and so do other designer houses. So if you're into mixing and matching your fashion houses, you can do that. I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's not to say I'd rule it out completely. And you can wrap the bandeau around this vachette here so that you can protect it or accessorize the bag. In terms of cons, obviously the vachette is a con if you want a carefree bag, something that you don't have to worry about in terms of rain or lots of sunshine. I'm happy with the level of patina on my bag. I did not want this to be blonde, the vachette to be too blonde, because that just meant risk for me. This bag is synonymous for having issues with hardware scratching, obviously, and if you want to use it in a carefree way, then you're going to have to accept that it will get scratched. It's had a history of glazing issues, so where the glazing has looked like it's melted, or the integrity of the glazing around the edges has disintegrated or become questionable. I haven't had that problem. As I said, I only purchased this bag last year, so from that, oh actually no, it was the year before last year, so it's 2 years old now, but it was way after all of the feedback had been given to Louis Vuitton and they'd improved the design somewhat. I was just about to mention, something else. So when you purchase these bags, another thing that has come up, and I've seen in a number of YouTube videos, has been the curving of these corners, and how some corners are not particularly uniform in their curve. They can have like slight angles, and that was something to look out for as well. So yeah, you want to check when you've got monogram pieces that everything's nicely lined up, and where there are curved corners and not square corners, that they do, you know, look like they've been finished appropriately and not like they were done in a backyard workshop. The price of this, I would say, is a con. $2,810 for a small coated canvas bag is a lot of money, in my opinion, considering that you can get you know, an entry level like a favorite for half the price, almost, you know, just a little over half the price. So I do think the price is a con on this one. Okay, in terms of resale, here's where things get interesting. Now, the price on this one, I have seen it go up to as much as 3,400 Australian dollars. So the markup is not as much as the favourite, which really surprised me when I was having a look at the prices on the resale market. So again, you're paying more, and so if you're a seller, that also gives you some peace of mind in terms of if you change your mind and decide, you know, this bag's not for you in the future, that you will be able to make back quite a fair bit of your investment. All right, today I've bought some different SLGs out. Let's have a look at what fits inside. So we'll open the bag. Apologies for the noise of the chain on the tray there. So inside of the bag, let's start with my Chanel small O pouch or O case. This one is in the beautiful black lambskin with the age gold hardware. It's a really popular piece. It's a classic interpretation of the OK, so it has the burgundy lining. I don't use it that much because I find it limits the other SLGs that I can use, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Inside of this, just for organisation, I've got my Apple AirPods, I've got my car fob, and today I am wearing the Laura Mercier gloss, and this is the same gloss that I wore on my wedding day. It's called Lip Glacé in Opal. Otherwise I wouldn't have tried it, but I was really delighted to see that they still make this gloss. It's a great nude lip with a bit of shine, so and it also keeps your lips quite hydrated. So I'll pop those back inside, and we'll put that in the bag. You can see there. Then I've got my Effendi Monster key pouch. You can see here, this is why sometimes I don't like to wear this little pouch, or carry this pouch, sorry, with the lambskin, because there's these little studs here on the monster's eyebrows are actually quite spiky, so they would scratch that pouch. Just interesting to compare the detail in these two pouches. See how you've got the FF logo on the Fendi piece and the CC logo on the Chanel piece, so you can definitely see the connection that Karl Lagerfeld had to both houses. This one, inside I've got cash rolled up and a bunch of cards, so I'm using this as my wallet. However, this one also has the has a little claw inside, so you could attach this as a charm to a bag, or you could use it to carry keys and as a wallet. So I'm going to put that inside, but I'm going to put the spikes away from the Chanel pouch, like so. Then I've got my Louis Vuitton 6 key holder. So I'll pop that in here. And finally, I've got my Celine sunglasses, and I'll put them over here. So again, I don't want those nasty little studs affecting my sunnies, so I'm kind of slipping those in between the Chanel pouch and the Fendi pouch. All right, so you can see there that the bag is fully stuffed. I wouldn't usually take that much, but it's good to know that it fits. And the magnet, I'm trying to pull it open. Okay, so that is closing quite nicely. Now I also have a notebook here, just to see if I wanted to get away with using this for a day in the office. Would that fit? Yes, so a notebook fits in there nicely. So let's try that with a pen. We'll take the Fendi case as a wallet, and we'll take our keys and some sunglasses as well. And that's quite a nice fit there. So there you can see how it can kind of slide to the side, the flap. So that's another option, and that seems to sit a lot thinner or slimmer against the body than with the second pouch inside. Let's pack the Pochette Metis. So in the front pocket is where I would usually put things that I want to get to quite quickly. So I will put in the Chanel pouch, and I'll put in the Fendi pouch. And then in the back pocket, because it's a bit larger, I'm going to put the notebook, which is an A5 size, and the pen. And in the slip pocket in the back here, I'm going to put my sunglasses, and I think I'll put the keys in with the notebook as well. So let's just close that one up. See how easy it is to close when it's got some resistance or something behind the S-lock. Now in the back, and I didn't mention this with the favourite, but obviously my phone would be packed as well. In the back here, that's where I would put my phone. So there's plenty of room to put the phone in the back pocket there. So it does it easily. There's no sagging on the bottom. That accordion structure on the side is still nicely distributed. There's no warping or nothing looks out of place. So next I'll show you some mod shots and different ways to wear these bags. So which would you choose? Value for money, likelihood of receiving your money back, wearability and versatility? I'm actually going to have to recommend the Louis Vuitton favourite. But if you're after a cult buy, something that is, again, difficult to get hold of, but also more inclined to get your money back, and you want that added capacity and a top handle, the Pochette Metis is the bag I'd recommend. Ultimately, if you can, get both, but I do think that you're not going to be wasting your money by investing in the favourite. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think. Do you have any pros or cons to add? Which one would you be inclined to buy if you had the choice? If you found this video helpful and you've enjoyed watching, please give me a thumbs up and hit the red subscribe button and hit the bell. That will tell you when I'm uploading. I'm uploading on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays at the moment, so that's keeping me nice and busy during this COVID crisis we find ourselves in. I'll see you again on Tuesday. Until then, take care.